Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. Welcome back and thank you for joining us again. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to day one of Lakmé Fashion Week's Digital First Season Fluid Edition. We all just witnessed the Sustainable Showcase by Malai in collaboration with Reliance Industries Limited, RLAN, Fashion for Earth, Lakmé Fashion Week, and United Nations Environment Program. For all of you who know this and don't, Malai by Zuzana was the winning label of the second Circular Design Challenge hosted at Lakmé Fashion Week Summer Resort 2020. Joining us today are Jaspreet Chandok, Head Lifestyle Businesses, IMG Reliance, Mr. Gunjan Sharma, CMO Pet Chem Division, Reliance Industries Limited, Mr. Atul Bagai, Head of UNEP Country Office, India, and the talented designer Zuzana herself. I'd like to first congratulate Mr. Chandok, Mr. Sharma, and Mr. Bagai for yet another successful partnership, and as always, for enabling talented artists to bring to the fore the best of sustainable fashion. I'd like to start off with Mr. Chandok. Jaspreet, the showcase today was a result of the second edition of the Circular Design Challenge that was held earlier this year. Could you tell us a little bit about the concept and the partnership with Reliance Industries and UNEP?
So the Circular Design Challenge came about, as a joint collaboration in our conversations that we were having with the United Nations Environment Program, and the fact that we had been working on sustainability with Arlan as well. And I think the entire understanding came from the fact that while we keep speaking about sustainability, we are not really providing a platform for new age labels to showcase, but beyond that, also build business. And I think what the Circular Design Challenge does is gives the opportunity for these labels to really expand their business over a period of time. The fact that you get featured, across the different, let's say, avenues that we have, with the United Nations, with Reliance Industries, with Fashion Week, the fact that you get a certain amount of monetary benefit to actually invest in your business, and the fact that you get to reach out to a much larger base of influencers that can actually make a difference in connecting you to the right people in the industry as well. So we're always glad to have Atulji, grace us with his presence. He is one of the key catalysts of sustainability in the country. And obviously the work that Reliance Industries has been doing with RLAN as well is significantly changing what we can do with recycled plastic, with PET bottles in the country, and making a significant change. So, we're glad to have these anchors come together for this program. And then obviously, everybody was very excited with what Zuzana created at the Circular Design Challenge, and which is the reason why she won. And we're glad to have given her the opportunity to showcase her journey, essentially from where she was 6 months back to now as well, in terms of her product.
Thanks, Jaspreet. Now, I'd like to go to Mr. Sharma. Mr. Sharma, could you tell us a little bit about Reliance Industries' commitment to, driving sustainability and circularity in industries such as textiles and apparels?
Well, we started working on environment-friendly products, almost 5-7 years back, and we have been all along trying to improve and trying to work upon the socially conscious and environmental friendly products. Even our Elan brand and our Elan, under it, we have green gold, which is one of the greenest fibers available in the world. And, we collect almost 2 billion bottles every year and recycle this using most environment friendly, methods and technologies. So we have been promoting environment friendly products in the fashion industry. And we've also been combining not just the fashion element, but we've also been combining the functionalities along with sustainability. So, we've been providing the right mix for the textile and the fashion industry, wherein the sustainability along with functionality, along with the fashion elements also, and very high, attributes actually can be taken forward and, to the masses. And the circular design challenge is yet another example of all the initiatives that we've taken, and we really appreciate the collaboration that we've had with IMGR and UN. And this is just another, today what we saw was just another demonstration of how circularity and how environment friendly fashion can be taken forward, and in right spirit, how this concept can be promoted in the fashion industry.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. Now coming to Mr. Bagai. Mr. Bagai, if we could know from you, how has the experience been to partner with Lakmé Fashion Week in its virtual avatar?
Uh, I would like to first thank and congratulate IMG Reliance and Lakmé Fashion Week for collaborating with UNEP. As you may be aware that UNEP's India office is a very new office. We set it up just about 3.5 years back. And I think we got into one of the most amazing partnerships through Lakmé Fashion Week a couple of years back. And the experience of the last 2 years from our sustainability perspective has been very, very satisfying. As Jaspreet said, a platform was needed. There was a lot happening in India in the whole textile. But I think the young designers needed a platform to not only showcase their sustainability efforts, but also provide a platform for understanding what does sustainability mean actually in the design space and in the textile space. And I think towards that end, our collaboration, which I feel is still a developing collaboration because a lot of more effort needs to be done, has been a very successful one. The winners last year and the winners this year, Malai, and I congratulate Malai and their patrons, have brought on the table some amazing innovation that is happening. In fact, we were able to showcase the last year's winner at our assembly in Nairobi, where we had almost 110 environment ministers from all over the world. And this whole effort that Reliance Industries, along with UNEP, had put forward was something that was very much appreciated. So we are very, very proud to be associated with the circular challenge that is being promoted now. And we are wanting to see that the coming years, we are able to strengthen it in a way that we are able to address the whole value chain of the textile sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bagai. And now I think we'd all like to hear from Zuzana herself. Zuzana, I'm sure Malai's latest accessories and apparel collection is sure to have a lasting impression among sustainable fashion enthusiasts. Tell us a little bit about the collection concept and what has it been like ever since the label won the Circular Design Challenge back in February?
I mean, I will not lie to you, it's been a horror, but not because of the Circular Design Challenge. It's because this year has been extraordinarily challenging in so many other ways. And therefore, I think, had it been for, 2020, of course, being winners of Circular Design Challenge would have been much more enriching experience as well. But it is what it is. We've been still quite glad to, be able to work on the new collection and present it here at Lakmé Fashion Week. It's a great opportunity, and we're also feeling quite fortunate that we were able to engage with a new format, which is completely virtual. I think that gives you a completely different experience of the garments, of the look, which is nice. The concept of our collection is widely inspired by the flora of Malabar coast and of Kerala. We've been inspired by a book called Hortus Malabaricus, which literally means the garden of Malabar. And it was kind of first book mapping the flora of this coast in the 17th century. It has lots of beautiful, beautiful illustrations. And it really, we felt like this really is a great appreciation of the richness and bountifulness of local nature, which is something that we abundantly work with and something that we benefit from and want to protect ultimately. So apart from accessories that were made from our biocomposite materials from Malai, you also had a chance to see specially developed prints on the Mundu fabric that we've done for this collection. We have been using technique of so-called sun prints, which are it's type of printing which basically develops in the sunshine or using the power of light. We've been, working on this collection. It has been challenging. Again, I will not lie to you. It's been, impossible to get to artisans. It's been impossible to source materials. So it's really been a challenge on all fronts. And I'm quite happy and proud of ourselves that we've been able to, keep positive and that we brought this all together. And yeah, we're hoping for the best to come.
Thank you, Zuzana. Thank you for giving us so much to look forward to. I'd also like to thank Mr. Chandok, Mr. Sharma, and Mr. Bagai for joining us. I'm now going to open the floor to questions. I'd like request all attendees to please submit your questions in the Q&A box that you see below, and we'll take it from there. So the first question that we have is for Mr. Bagai. Mr. Bagai, given UNEP is supporting such initiatives, what can we expect from this collaboration in the future? And what is your vision regarding such initiatives and collaborations?
Thanks for that question. I would like to respond to this at two levels. One, our vision certainly in the textile sector in the long term is to see how we could bring in, as I said earlier, the sustainability elements into the whole value chain. Right now, through this challenge, I think, and the last two winners, we've been able to address a very small part of the whole value chain. So I think our vision is to work closely with the industry and with the stakeholders to see how we can bring in the sustainability elements from the way the fiber is grown till the end product or end of useful life of the textile you wear. That certainly is the long-term vision. Second, I think the textile industry in India is one of the largest sectors for earnings and also for job opportunities. Certainly, it is the second biggest or the largest sector. And to be able to have an impact from a sustainability perspective on the sector certainly is one of the objectives we are looking forward to. We are also working very closely now with the Ministry of Textiles, which has been supporting the industry in India. And in the short term, what we are looking at are two major activities that we are contemplating and finalizing with the Ministry of Textiles. And very soon we would be undertaking an assessment of a benchmark or a baseline from sustainability parameters of one of the textile hubs in India. There are 27 textile hubs in India, each distinct, each having its own characteristics. And in consultation with the Ministry of Textiles, we have zeroed in on the Surat textile hub, where we are very soon going to start a benchmarking study to develop the sustainability parameters that would be needed for a textile hub like Surat. And of course, it would be focused on Surat, but it will bring in some generic approaches from a sustainability perspective that can be looked at for the other sectors. The second work which we are embarking upon is working with, again, Ministry of Textiles and with NIFT to see that they are able to introduce a sustainability textile curriculum within their courses that they give to the young students who are wanting to come and work on the textile sector. So these are broadly the areas which we have chalked out for UNEP to look at over the next few years.
Thank you, Mr. Bagai. I have two questions for Mr. Sharma. Mr. Sharma, the first one being, how has the partnership with Lakmé Fashion Week evolved since the first edition of Circular Design Challenge? And do you have a point of view on how one can stop fashion pollution?
Okay, the first one is how has the relationship with Lakmé Fashion Week evolved, right? Yeah, so
Correct.
there are two parts to it. There is one part which is the Circular Design Challenge, which we have been working on together with UN and Lakmé Fashion Week and IMGR. So we have seen the innovations like what we saw today, and the earlier winner also presenting some innovating possibilities in textile and in fashion industry. So we have been fully supporting this, and we've been ensuring that all kind of circularities and all kind of material usage actually is taken forward, and the concept of circularity and concept of sustainability is truly understood and seen and appreciated by all. Right, so the effort has been commendable, and like Mr. Bagai also mentioned, this is just the beginning, and we need to take it, much further. So that is one part that we've been working on. The second part is we also have standalone RLAN shows, which we have been working on, and we have been working on this, for the last 3 years. So this also is now, taking a much better shape, and we have continuously been working on various designers showcasing all different kind of RLAN collections with all different kind of possibilities involving sustainability, involving all fashion attributes and the functionalities as well. So this is just to update you on the relationship going forward. Now, what was the other question? Can you please?
Yes. Do you have a point of view or a suggestion on how one can stop fashion pollution?
Well, fashion pollution in itself, we know and all of us recognize, this is textile and fashion industry globally is one of the, highest polluting industry because of the very basic nature of how materials are made and how they are eventually taken forward, the way, they are eventually converted into a usable form. But the effort now has to be to ensure that we should build in as much sustainability as possible into it, right? So RLAN Green Gold is just another initiative that we have taken forward to ensure that we build sustainability in the fashion element also. So I'm not sure that how fast and how soon would we be able to tackle this problem and fully overcome this, but I'm sure every step actually counts in this direction. So I think that is what our initiative and that is what our effort should be.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. And we'll take one last question, and this is for Zuzana. Zuzana, what can we expect next from Malai?
What can we expect next from Malai? So you can expect more materials that are good for the planet, that are sustainable, that are made with consideration for the environment. You can expect more products from our own brand, which is something that I believe came to life specifically because of the Circular Design Challenge. And you can expect good design and good research.
Thank you, Zuzana. There's a lot to look forward to. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here today, and a big thank you to the attendees as well. With that, we come to the end of this session. Thank you for joining us again. For more information on the showcase, please do visit the gallery section at the LFW Virtual Hub. We'll see you here again soon. Until then, thank you and bye-bye.